Good evening, and welcome to the Universidad Europea de Madrid. My name is Alan Palmer, Director of Academic Orientation, and it is both an honor and a pleasure to welcome you to the last International Open House event of this academic year, which aims to shed light upon our bachelor's degrees offered 100% in English. Overall, we are a private international university whose main campus in Madrid is located just 15 kilometers to the southwest of the city center within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón. Although do note we do have another smaller, more boutique-style campus located in the north of Madrid in Alcobendas. That said, Madrid is not our only base, as we also have campuses in Valencia, as well as in the Canary Islands in Tenerife. But regardless of which campus you carry out your studies, our university is characterized and truly driven by our emphasis of learning by doing. That is, a large portion of our degree's curricula take place outside of the traditional classroom within our on-campus laboratories, workshops, simulation zones, as well as in real-life professional settings within the realms of, for example, airport infrastructure, historic building restoration, satellite and aircraft design, mechanical supply chain, automobile manufacturing, robotics and renewable energy, just to name a few. Studying at the Universidad Europea is not just a place where you will attend classes, participate in internships, research, and obtain your degree, but rather it is a platform for you to spring into the world with a more globalized, digitalized, and entrepreneurial mentality. We also foster a multicultural environment in which 1 in every 3 students are international. So, aside from explaining the curricula of our bachelor's degrees offered in English, providing an overview of campus life and culture, detailing the admissions process, and answering your questions, I'm also aware that many of you will be departing your respective home countries and relocating to Spain to embark on this new chapter. As a foreigner myself, that is one thing that you and I will share in common. Having resided, studied, and worked in Spain for 7, almost 8 years, I also look forward to talking about the reality of relocating to Spain and forming part of this distinguished university community. We thoroughly hope you find this event insightful and beneficial as you research the various options of which university do I choose. In the following short video, the rector of the Universidad Europea de Madrid, Dr. Elena Gazapo, will speak about our academic model.
Hola, mi nombre es Elena Gazapo, soy la rectora de la Universidad Europea de Madrid y quiero darte las gracias por estar con nosotros en nuestra jornada de puertas abiertas. Sabemos que estás en un momento muy importante de tu vida. Estás a punto de comenzar una nueva etapa, un futuro que comienza en la elección de universidad, ya sea para cursar una titulación de grado o un ciclo formativo de grado superior. La Universidad Europea está formada por una red de instituciones presentes en Madrid, Valencia, Canarias, Oporto y Lisboa, que comparten una visión única, la visión One University. Con más de 25 años de trayectoria, 25.000 alumnos y más de 80.000 egresados, proporcionamos a nuestros estudiantes una educación integral, formando líderes y profesionales preparados para dar respuesta a las necesidades de un mundo global, para aportar valor en sus profesiones y contribuir al progreso social siempre desde un espíritu emprendedor y de compromiso ético. Nuestro compromiso con nuestros estudiantes se sustenta en un sólido modelo académico eminentemente práctico, que permite conocer la realidad profesional en un entorno global y multicultural donde más del 30% de los estudiantes son internacionales y con acuerdos de intercambios y prácticas en más de 70 países. En la Universidad Europea de Madrid contamos con una amplia oferta formativa en la gran mayoría de las áreas de conocimiento, con más de 200 grados, ciclos formativos de grado superior, posgrados y programas de la Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid Universidad Europea. Nuestra comunidad docente permanece en constante contacto con las profesiones para garantizar una formación a la vanguardia de las necesidades del mercado laboral, lo que se traduce en más de 6.000 acuerdos de colaboración con empresas y con elevadas tasas de empleabilidad cercanas al 90% y con rangos salariales un 40% por encima de la media de universidades privadas. Este contacto con las profesiones también se pone de manifiesto en nuestra oferta académica, en permanente actualización para responder a las necesidades profesionales en diferentes áreas como educación, ingeniería o comunicación, por nombrar algunas de ellas. Además, en los últimos meses ha quedado de manifiesto la importancia del cuidado de la salud como elemento clave para la sociedad. Por eso apoyamos el concepto One Health, una sola salud. Una estrategia global que defiende que la salud humana y la salud animal son interdependientes y están vinculadas a los ecosistemas en los que coexisten. Lo concebimos y lo implementamos a través de una nueva propuesta formativa que incluye biomedicina, veterinaria y medio ambiente y sostenibilidad. En la Universidad Europea queremos acompañarte en tu viaje y lo hacemos a través de nuestro modelo académico de aprendizaje experiencial HighFlex, que tiene un enfoque eminentemente práctico que te permitirá adquirir los conocimientos, las competencias y valores adecuados para el desarrollo de tu futura profesión, así como afrontar los retos de la transformación social y digital. Un viaje de aprendizaje en el que contarás con las mejores instalaciones, equipo docente y tecnología para que aprendas haciendo, enfrentándote desde los primeros años de formación a situaciones simuladas y reales del día a día de las profesiones. Un modelo que te permitirá ganar horas de vuelo gracias a la última tecnología en laboratorios y entornos virtuales, contando siempre con la cercanía y la dedicación constante de tus profesores. ¿Quieres saber cómo es el día a día estudiando en la Universidad Europea? Tendrás a tu disposición un campus seguro con magníficas instalaciones y laboratorios como Industria 4.0, que cuenta con las principales tecnologías como Internet de las Cosas, ciberseguridad, sensores o Big Data, entre otros, para garantizar un aprendizaje basado en proyectos con el estado del arte de la cuarta revolución industrial. El Human Performance Research Lab, un espacio de última generación para el aprendizaje transdisciplinar sobre los beneficios y usos del ejercicio físico en la salud y en el rendimiento de las personas. O el hospital simulado, para que puedas practicar con las situaciones que viven los profesionales sanitarios, pero en un entorno seguro. El elevado número de profesores que siguen el ejercicio profesional, cuya enseñanza está directamente relacionada con su experiencia laboral, te garantizan una conexión con el mundo real desde el primer año. Además, contarás con aulas dotadas con la última tecnología y podrás hacer uso de diferentes herramientas digitales como entornos de simulación, gamificación, laboratorios virtuales y contenidos digitales de alto valor añadido. Todo ello accesible también fuera del horario de clase para maximizar tus horas de vuelo. Y todo esto en el entorno de nuestros campus seguros, en los que podrás participar en múltiples actividades y exprimir al máximo la vida universitaria. Toda nuestra comunidad universitaria te está esperando para acompañarte en este viaje donde la educación personalizada, el conocimiento humano y la tecnología más avanzada se dan la mano. Te dejo con los equipos de facultades y escuelas que te van a mostrar tu día a día desde las áreas de conocimiento.
We pride ourselves on the fact that 42% of our 25,000 students are international and come from more than 125 countries, making us one of the most diverse universities in Spain. As a student at the Universidad Europea, you will also have the opportunity to complement your training with internships and training placements in more than 40 countries worldwide. Since our founding in 1989, approximately 130,000 students have graduated from our university between our 3 campuses in Madrid, Valencia, and the Canary Islands. Fortunately, 90% of our alumni secure employment within their first year of graduating, and 25% of them are currently working and practicing their respective professions abroad outside of Spain. We know that employability is important to you, which is why we strive to bring you as close as possible to the professional world from day one. Fortunately, we have signed agreements and built enduring relationships with a multitude of companies and institutions worldwide where you as a student will get that practical, hands-on experience working hand in hand with a reputable professional of your field, be that an architect, an aeronautical engineer, a psychologist, a dentist, a CEO. The list goes on. As I mentioned, our academic model centers upon experiential learning, or learning by doing. Through this methodology, we invite you to take advantage of our pioneer facilities where you will carry out coursework in environments that recreate professional spaces with the highest precision. These spaces are accessible even outside of class hours so that you can continue practicing and polishing your skills as much as you need. These environments allow you to learn in a safe way as a preliminary step to professional internships. Fortunately, we have more than 14,000 agreements with companies for you to carry out your internship towards the end of your degree. In this learning methodology, you will have the unique opportunity to learn collaboratively from our expert faculty and staff who are up to date with the latest trends in technology. It's also worth noting that 80% of our professors are active professionals within their fields, so you always have a close link to the professional world from day one. I would now like to explain our degrees, which are offered 100% in English within our faculties here on campus in Villaviciosa de Odón. So let's start with the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. But before diving into the individual degrees, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. With more than 5,500 students since its creation and 25% of international students, the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences contributes to the development of each individual's potential to improve people's health and overall quality of life. As part of its facilities, the Universidad Europea has a simulated hospital that allows students to learn all about clinical practices in a truly authentic setting. In this space, The possibilities are endless. We can simulate to precision anything from an intensive care unit, an operation room, a delivery room. In fact, we even have a robot named Rufina who gives birth. Of course, the simulated hospital possesses all the necessary spaces and technological devices, all the bells and whistles, but in my opinion, the differentiating aspect of this facility is the ability to work as a team with different health professionals. For example, it's quite common for our psychology students to work collaboratively with our medical students. That multidisciplinary aspect of health sciences is at the heart of our simulated hospital. Overall, the training model integrates knowledge, competencies, skills, and values through a methodology based on interprofessional training and the resolution of real-life cases through advanced simulation techniques. After gaining experience within our simulated settings, the students then treat real-life patients at both the Polyclinic and the University Dental Clinic, two centers located right in the heart of Madrid, which provide more than 94,000 consultations and perform more than 160,000 treatments a year. We also have one located right in the heart of Valencia, where our biomedical and health science students in Valencia can carry out their internships. In this faculty, you can study the following bachelor's degrees 100% in English. The first I would like to point out is our bachelor's degree in dentistry, which is also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. Within this 5-year program, students will learn with the latest technologies, such as our Smart Lab, employing unique virtual reality simulators and experiencing sensations almost identical to those they will feel with real patients. From the very beginning, students will acquire all the necessary skills and abilities for patient care in the dental offices located in our simulated hospital. After gaining ample experience in orthodontics, endodontics, oral surgery, etc. within our simulated settings here on campus, we then send our students to our dental offices located in the heart of Madrid, where, as I mentioned earlier, they will treat real-life patients. In fact, myself, as an employee of the Universidad Europea, I carry out all my dental procedures within these clinics, and I have to say our students come top-notch. Now, let's delve into our bachelor's degree in psychology. Within this degree, you will gain a deep understanding of human behavior to help improve our global society. Our psychology degree has a strong practical approach, given that starting their 3rd year, our students carry out internships in external centers and learn all about patient care in institutions and psychology clinics. All in all, our students complete more than 600 hours of clinical internships, after which they feel 100% comfortable treating and diagnosing patients in real-life settings. However, they mustn't worry about attending these real-life patients, as they will have a lot of experience working with our actors here on campus in our simulated hospital, primarily their 2nd year. Now, our actors can play the role of patients with a wide array of pathologies, from schizophrenia to a panic attack to an eating disorder. They can even play the role of a student suffering from high school bullying. Now, having touched upon the 2 degrees which adhere to patient care, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in biotechnology. Biotechnology is a largely research-focused degree in which approximately 70% of all coursework take place within our state-of-the-art laboratories. While our biotechnology students will learn about the latest technological advances in bioscience, they also have the opportunity to gain experience in various fields outside of the purely biomedical world, with a considerable entrepreneurial approach, gaining a firm understanding of the pharmaceutical industry at large. Thanks to our innovative curriculum, pupils acquire the skills needed to develop and improve the design of, for example, new drugs, food products, or the bioremediation of contaminated environments, among many others. Included in this degree are 2 expert courses. The first, in Management of Biotechnology Companies and International RDI Projects, and the second, in Molecular Architecture and Biology. In this second one, our students learn all about molecular docking. Kindly note that we also offer this degree from our campus in Valencia, And that will conclude our degrees offered in English within our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. Students, please, I must insist, if you have any questions about any of these degrees, please feel free to ask us in the live chat, and we'll be happy to address those in the Q&A session to follow. But for now, please sit back, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of STEAM. We will now move on to the Faculty of STEAM. Now, you may be wondering, what does STEAM stand for? Well, STEAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. Students, if you enjoy building, constructing, planning, drawing, giving form to objects, and transforming the world around us, STEAM may be right up your alley. The schools of engineering, architecture, and design train top-notch professionals within an international and interprofessional approach through project-based learning and hands-on experience with leading companies in the sector. Fortunately, we provide our students with cutting-edge facilities such as our Digital Fabrication Laboratory, or Fab Lab, our design-oriented classrooms, our mechanical workshop, materials workshop, wind tunnel, which can produce winds of up to 150 kilometers an hour, just to name a few. The Universidad Europea is the first private institution to achieve the prestigious NAAB NOB International Certification from the United States of America. This certification evaluates and recognizes international architecture programs of particularly high quality standards, equivalent to programs found in the United States and Canada. We are also the only Spanish university validated by the Royal Institute of British Architecture, the RIBA, since 2019. This is without doubt the most prestigious association of architects worldwide. We also boast agreements with reputable international universities, such as the University of California in Irvine, as well as with prominent companies such as Airbus, Siemens, CESPA, Endesa, Indra, Repsol, Iberia Airlines, Altran, Bosch Security Systems, among others. Outside of the classroom, students have the opportunity to participate in university clubs like our Formula WIM, Robotics Club, Design Club, Air Division, Computing and New Technologies, just to name a few. All clubs are 100% comprised of students with the support and guidance of our high-quality teaching staff. In this faculty, you can study the following degrees 100% in English. So let's first delve into our bachelor's degree in Fundamentals of Architecture, which entails 5 years of study. As I previously mentioned, the Universidad Europea is the first university in Europe to obtain the NAAB and the RIBA international accreditations, which will make it easier for you to practice your profession as an architect in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom. You will utilize innovative technologies of BIM methodology, digital manufacturing, and virtual reality, integrating them into your daily life and routine. And you will work in innovative laboratories such as, like I mentioned earlier, our Fab Lab, digital design workshops, BIM classrooms, or even our rendering farm. Regarding our bachelor's degree in aerospace and aircraft engineering, you will learn how to design and manage aircraft manufacturing projects, calculate orbits, use avionics hardware and software, ensure air safety, control satellite missions, and monitor aeronautical systems. Students will have access to our state-of-the-art facilities within the Faculty of STEAM, of course. For example, our wind tunnel. They use this wind tunnel to project a speed that is equal to the takeoff speed of an aircraft to improve the curvature of an airplane's wing to produce greater lift. In addition to the aforementioned aircraft manufacturing companies I mentioned in the intro slide of this faculty, we also have an internship agreement with AENA, A-E-N-A, the public organization that manages Spanish airports. Now, let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in industrial systems engineering. Starting from the fundamentals of basic sciences like physics, chemistry, and mathematics, you will acquire mechanical knowledge such as resistance of materials, design, machine design, and manufacturing, which will allow you to participate in the manufacturing of any mechanical product, from the simplest to the most complex and delicate systems you can possibly imagine. Students can gain access to our pioneer workshops and laboratories, including our automotive workshop, our destructive testing laboratory, and many, many more. As far as computer engineering is concerned, please note that 100% of our students secure employment within their first 6 months of finishing their degree upon graduating. During your degree, you will have access to train in facilities such as the network laboratories, the XR lab, augmented reality, the robotics and electronic laboratory, the tech factory, and even the simulated hospital. You will also train using Vanguard programs like IBM Azure, Google Cloud, and Office 365 solutions. The Universidad Europea also has its own cloud, where you can access all of these aforementioned programs outside of campus from the comfort of your own home. So that will conclude the presentations of our bachelor's degrees from the Faculty of STEAM. Again, students, for any questions about these degrees, please feel free to ask us in our live chat. But for now, we will move on to our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. But first, please enjoy the short video that paints a picture of the world of business and media studies here at the Universidad Europea de Madrid, campus Villaviciosa de Odón. Now, let's take a look at our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication for our future business partners, brand ambassadors, entrepreneurs, diplomats, and audiovisual multimedia professionals out there. I would like to start by pointing out that the Universidad Europea is the first Spanish university to receive the prestigious ACBSP accreditation for our bachelor's degree in business administration as well as our bachelor's degree in marketing, which recognizes the quality of our training programs. We boast more than 100 partnerships with companies, institutions, law firms, and NGOs worldwide like Google, RTVE, Mediaset, A3 Media, Prisa, Telemadrid, Vocento, Repsol, Zeppelin, the list goes on and on. We also have forged relationships and signed agreements with leading international universities, such as the London School of Economics and the University of California, Berkeley. Students can put their knowledge into practice thanks to our professional laboratories, including our Europea Media, which includes a television set and green screen, our financial hub, our business lab, and our legal clinic, which is essentially a simulated courtroom. Now, within this faculty, you can study the following degrees completely in English. Within our global bachelor's degree in international business, you will learn how to identify and use the key levers that facilitate business success in a truly international environment. My favorite aspect of this degree is that students are required to study abroad in both their third and fourth years, being able to choose from more than 100 destinations worldwide, thanks to the agreements with the best universities in Europe, North America, and Asia. In your fourth year, you will study in exclusive destinations such as McGill University in Canada or the University of California, Berkeley on the west coast of the US. Students studying our bachelor's degree in business administration will employ a methodology that places the student and his or her passions and talents at the forefront. First, you will learn all about the realities of business, attend conferences and seminaries, visit companies, and carry out workshops. Then you will work in virtual simulation environments, and after acquiring the knowledges and skills you need, you will work on real projects for companies guided by a professor in our professional consulting lab. You may be wondering, what is the difference between international business and business administration? Of course, both degrees will provide you a deep understanding of the various procedures and departments of any healthy business worldwide. For example, management, finance, communication and marketing, accounting and strategy, but with an emphasis of developing your emotional intelligence, public speaking skills, and active listening skills. However, I would have to say that international business provides more emphasis on legal components and focuses more on the macroeconomic environment, while business administration tends to focus more on microeconomic matters. Now let's take a look at our bachelor's degree in business analytics, in which students will acquire the analytical and management skills needed to succeed in the various departments of any business. This four-year degree is designed to provide essential training in mathematics, business intelligence, statistics, and programming, so that students can develop a broad understanding of the sector and recognize the potential impact that big data can have on the business market. Students, if you envision yourself working in the business setting and numbers and statistics come easy to you, I recommend you research this degree in more detail. Multinational companies, institutions, hospitals, and foundations worldwide are always on the search for profiles that excel in managing big data. Moving on, our bachelor's degree in economics prepares you to be an economist of the future within a fast-paced international environment. You will develop analysis and synthesis abilities, learning to use the latest technology and innovation in the business world. In order to understand the aforementioned disciplines, international business, business administration, and business analytics, we truly need professionals trained in economics, as it serves as the base and foundation for the global economy at large. Like the aforementioned degrees, our bachelor's degree in economics entails a four-year curriculum in which students will complement their studies and with internships in reputable multinational companies, and will have the opportunity to get involved in various other extracurricular activities, including our Digital Business Week, our Capital Markets Club, and our Crypto Club. We will now depart the world of business and move on to our global bachelor's degree in international relations, also proudly offered from our campus in Valencia. By studying this degree, you will become an expert in diplomacy and gain a firm understanding of how sovereign states, NGOs, interest groups, banks, and other international entities communicate with one another, all from an international, political, economic, social, and legal perspective. If you envision yourself participating in internships within the United Nations, the European Union, or collaborating on a Spanish diplomatic mission abroad, perhaps our global bachelor's degree in international relations is for you. Like our global bachelor's degree in international business, please note that studying abroad is not only a recommendation, but a requirement, which I think is really, really cool. As we conclude the presentation of our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication, let's take a quick look at the world of communication. Our bachelor's degree in advertising trains professionals to understand the mindset and demands of the consumer and to create a strategic plan to penetrate any type of global market. However, let's not forget about the importance of creativity and imagination required within this field. Students will learn how to apply their creativity to make their target market or clientele truly fall in love with the product. Psychology of the consumer, market research, and event planning are just a few of the innovative subjects within this degree. This week on campus is our Communication and Marketing Week, in which we host an array of outstanding leaders from various companies and institutions throughout Spain to hold conferences, talks, and carry out didactic workshops. So I know that our students of advertising are very much involved in our Communication and Marketing Week. Finally, let's discuss our bachelor's degree in media studies. This degree aims to train future professionals to work on diverse audiovisual products on any platform and in any media: cinema, television, radio, video games. The curriculum includes subjects such as motion graphics, infographics, and data processing, transmedia narrative, app design, gamification, and entertainment formats. If you envision yourself on the big TV screen one day, or working behind the camera or behind the scenes, I suggest you research this degree in more detail. Prior to moving on to the Q&A, I will give you a brief virtual tour of our facilities, and I do really look forward to showing you our Europea Media with our Pioneer TV set and green screen, a facility that our media studies students use starting their very first year. We also do offer a couple other degrees from our campus in Valencia. Those include our bachelor's degree in marketing, our bachelor's degree in tourism and leisure management, our global bachelor's degree in business management and entrepreneurship, as well as our double bachelor's degree in law and international language. However, as we are only focusing on our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón, we won't go into those in this session. So students, I've said it before and I will say it again. Please send any questions you have regarding these degrees through the live chat, and we will happily answer those in the upcoming Q&A session. But now, please sit back again, relax, and enjoy this short video that paints a picture of our Faculty of Sport Sciences, which is the last faculty we will discuss this evening. We pride ourselves on the fact that our Faculty of Sports Sciences is considered one of the best in Spain to study physical activity sciences and physical therapy degrees. According to the newspapers El Mundo, as well as the prestigious Shanghai Agreement. Also, the Edu Universal Ranking places our MBA in sports management within the top 50 worldwide. We boast between 30 and 35,000 square meters of state-of-the-art sports facilities, including our semi-Olympic size swimming pools, our tennis and paddle courts, rock climbing wall, beach volleyball court, track and football field, our fitness room, and our human performance research lab. We are also proud partners of Real Madrid, thanks to our Escuela Universitaria Real Madrid, Universidad Europea, which provides our students with the opportunity to specialize in a specific area of the sports sector, thanks to our wide portfolio of master's degrees taught from our campus in Alcobendas, which is located in the north of the community of Madrid. Now let's take a look at the degrees that we offer 100% in English within this faculty. First, let's dive into our bachelor's degree in physiotherapy. This is the only degree in Spain accredited by the World Confederation of Physical Therapy. Students will train in a safe, 100% real environment where they will confront many simulated clinical cases, interacting with other health students such as medicine, nursing, and pharmacy. From their very first year, students will also study within our structure and function laboratories filled with anatomical models and virtual reality glasses, as well as our human performance research lab, where students study a wide array of subjects like biomechanics, curing lesions, physiology, etc., etc. Our global bachelor's degree in sports management is geared towards that student that loves the world of sports, but doesn't necessarily envision herself or himself playing or training professionally. Studying this degree, we want you to have the profile that managers in the sports industry are looking for: a high-quality university education, a broad business vision, versatility, and an international focus. If you see yourself creating your own brand of sports clothing, overseeing the construction of sports facilities, specializing in sports publicity or sports journalism, perhaps this degree is for you. On the other hand, our bachelor's degree in physical activity and sports sciences aims to prepare students to become leading professionals in the world of fitness and health. The first 2 years, students will choose a total of 8 sports from 12 in total. For example, basketball, soccer, handball, golf, cycling, swimming and aquatic activities, volleyball. Then in their final 2 years, students will specialize in training within 2 sports, soccer and basketball. Like the other degrees within this faculty, physical activity and sports sciences entails a 4-year curriculum. And students, we will now move on to the admissions process, scholarship programs, living in Spain, and finally our Q&A session. But prior to that, please enjoy this short video about our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón and all of the amazing facilities that we have here on campus. Students, I hope you enjoyed the video that we just put on. And again, if you do have any questions about our Faculty of Sports Sciences from the previous slide, please send those through the live chat. I would now like to touch upon the admissions process. First, I would like to mention that the application window for this upcoming 2023-2024 academic year is currently open, and we do encourage you all to participate. The first step will be to establish contact with one of our dedicated enrollment advisors, who will be your main point of contact throughout the admissions process up until you register for your classes. Now, we will assign you an advisor that is a true expert in the degree of your choice, answering any questions you may have and providing you and your family a campus tour of our installations and facilities. Your advisor will give you access to your pre-student portal and send you your online admissions tests, which consist of, irrelevant of your degree, a professional skills and abilities test, which will evaluate the top 8 competencies that companies are looking for in today's job market. For example, how you work in group settings, how you make decisions, your level of empathy, your level of self-motivation, etc. Secondly, you will have to complete a written interview comprised of 5 questions in which you will need to respond as honestly and detailed as possible. Lastly, all students, regardless of any previous official language certificates they may have, will need to take a Spanish level exam and an English level exam. These are 50 minutes in duration and contain a grammar, listening, and reading section. Kindly note that if your maternal language is either Spanish or English, you will not need to take that specific test. Upon completing your online admissions tests, our selection committee will evaluate your results, and within about 24 to 48 hours, they will relay your admission status to your advisor, who will be in touch with you as soon as possible. Now, if you are admitted and the Universidad Europea is the right fit for you, your next step will be to reserve your place within your pre-student portal. Now, this will guarantee your spot within your bachelor's degree, allow you to proceed forward with the registration process, permit you to apply for scholarships, and of course, provide you that peace of mind, knowing you are officially off to university in the fall of 2023. There are a limited number of spaces per degree, so it is my recommendation to start that process as soon as possible. In fact, several of the degrees that I've touched upon this evening are nearly filled at this point, so please bear that in mind. As I mentioned, the Universidad Europea de Madrid does offer a competitive scholarship program that provides financial aid to our students of high academic and athletic performance. Kindly note that within our webpage, you will find numerous scholarships. However, I would like to highlight the 2 that are applicable to our international students. The first is the Beca de Excelencia, or the Scholarship of Excellence, which is awarded to those students of high academic standings whose annual household income does not exceed 100,000 euros a year. This scholarship will cover 3,000 euros of your tuition annually, and do note that you can apply for this scholarship between March 16th and July 16th of this year. So the application window is open, and you can apply for this scholarship only if your reservation fee has been paid. You will submit your final high school grades through our scholarship online portal, and do note that any application submitted after July 16th of this upcoming summer will not be considered. The second scholarship I would like to point out is the Plan Compete, the Plan Compite, which we say in Spanish, which is granted to those incoming scholar athletes of particularly high athletic performance. These candidates must accredit their athletic standing within the last year through the Ministry of Federation of Sports, Ministry or Federation of Sports within their home country. This scholarship will cover 30% of their tuition annually, excluding their reservation fee and file opening fee, which is only paid the first year. The application window opened on April 1st of this month, so just a few weeks ago. You may be wondering, can I apply for both scholarships? Yes, you can absolutely apply for both, and if granted both scholarships, the student will receive the one that is most financially beneficial. Lastly, I would like to point out that for all incoming students for our 2023-2024 academic year, We do have an early enrollment discount of 30% in the reservation fee this month of April. This discount applies to all of the aforementioned degrees with the exception of our bachelor's degree in dentistry. I would now like to touch briefly upon the experience of living in Madrid, particularly for those interested students that will be relocating from another country. As a US citizen myself, I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee, in the southeast of the country. I've had the fortune of calling Madrid home for 7, almost 8 years now. It's been a truly incredible experience. Madrid is Spain's main cultural and business hub, abundant in world-class museums like the Prado de Reina Sofia or the Thyssen, sports venues, awe-inspiring architecture and monuments, parks and green spaces, and houses the headquarters of countless multinational companies, institutions, and hospitals. Madrid is an extremely welcoming city and boasts, in my humble opinion, a street life, vibrancy, hospitality, and overall quality of life comparable to none. Located in the geographic center of the nation, Madrid is well connected by both air and rail to all corners of Spain and other major European cities. Thanks to our high-speed train systems, we are just about 2.5 hours from Barcelona, Valencia, and Sevilla and Malaga down in the south, and just about 6 hours driving from Portugal's 2 major cities, Lisbon, the capital city, and Porto in the north. Not to mention, the day trip excursions from Madrid are endless. For nature enthusiasts out there, Madrid is just about a 45-minute drive from the Sierra de Guadarrama, a towering mountain range that bisects the Iberian Peninsula. And for those history buffs out there like myself, we are just an hour's drive away from the medieval towns of Toledo, Segovia, and Avila. Madrid has a mild, dry, and pleasant climate year-round, although it's quite chilly from December to February and very hot in the months of July and August. As far as living situations are concerned, we do offer 2 on-campus dormitories called Velázquez and Picasso that are managed by a company called Zior. Additionally, there are ample student residences within the town of Villaviciosa de Odón, just a few minutes from campus by bus. However, for those of you wishing to live right in the middle of the hustle and bustle in the heart of downtown Madrid, the campus is also well connected by public transport. The commute from Madrid's Príncipe Pío station to our campus takes approximately a half hour, and aside from public transportation, our university provides our own transportation, with buses departing from Moncloa 6 times a day direct for our campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón. Regarding health insurance, there are various options at your disposal. However, according to their prices, coverage, and overall quality of doctors and healthcare staff, we would recommend Nueva Mutua Sanitaria, whose contact information you can find there on the screen. Lastly, regarding your student visa, please note that we will provide all the documentation needed to file for your visa through the Spanish embassy or consulate in your home country, once you have confirmed your place and paid your reservation fee for this upcoming academic year. We hope you enjoy this short video about our university clubs and extracurricular activities. Hope you enjoy this short video.
La vida universitaria te está esperando. Sabes que cuentas con más de 25 clubes donde puedes desarrollar todas tus habilidades y además conocer personas con tu misma afición.
¿Te gusta diseñar y construir objetos? Te invito a que te unas a los clubes de Fórmula, Robótica, Informática, Ciencias, Física, Game Studio o Air Division. Además, estos equipos participan en competiciones a nivel nacional e internacional, representando a nuestra universidad.
Tal vez te interesan actividades más culturales, así que puedes apuntarte al club de cine, al de teatro o al de fotografía.
Seguro que tienes el talento necesario.
También tenemos clubes para quienes quieran divertirse con juegos o deporte, como el club de eSport, el entrenamiento, club de rol o ajedrez. Jaque mate.
¿Eres trotamundos? Entonces tus clubes son o Relaciones Internacionales o Modelo de las Naciones Unidas. que van a encuentros internacionales y nacionales. De hecho, este año fueron a París y a Dubái para representarnos.
En cambio, si lo tuyo es medicina, odontología, fisioterapia, psicología, biotecnología o ingeniería biomédica, contamos con agrupaciones para titulaciones específicas.
Quizás a la última en todo, entonces no puedes perderte clubes como Pride
O podcast.
Y si aún así no encuentras un club que te interese, puedes crear uno nuevo.
In just a few moments, we will open the floor for Q&A, for questions and answers. However, as you are unable to be with us in person this evening, I would like to give you a brief virtual tour of our facilities, notably our simulated hospital, our television set and green screen, our Industry 4.0 laboratory, as well as our sports facilities. So students, I want to maintain eye contact with you here on the camera, but I do have my colleague David, who is here manning the computer. So if I look down here at the screen to the bottom left, that is because I'm here seeing what you're seeing at the same time. So first, David, I would like to take a look at the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. Biomedical and Health Sciences, there we are. And first, let's take a look at the crown jewel of the faculty, our simulated hospital. Perfect, David. All right, so we're going to take a look at our simulated hospital. Students, everything that you're going to see in our simulated hospital is 100% real. All of the technology, all of the instrumentation is exactly what you would find in a real hospital. Everything is real, of course, except for our patients. But in their place, we have simulated robots that move, speak, talk, can display a wide array of pathologies. And for more psychological pathologies and disorders, we do work with actors, as I mentioned when we were going over psychology. So students, before we enter the hospital, we have to enter sterile, we have to enter with our scrubs, and we have to take off all of our jewelry, bracelets, watches, and put those in those lockers that we can see there to the right of the screen. So David, let's go ahead and enter the simulated hospital, and let's twirl around to the left so that we can see that multi-screen. There we are. So students, I would like to point out that everything that takes place in the simulated hospital is filmed so that after your clinical coursework here in the simulated hospital, you can really kind of develop your critical spirit. What have I done great? What can I improve upon? What have I done catastrophically wrong? It is okay to make thousands of mistakes here in the simulated hospital. It's much better to make mistakes here, correct and improve those mistakes so that they don't happen in a real life setting. So let's twirl around all the way to the right, David, and let's take a look at our consultation rooms, if you don't mind. Let's take a look at the first one there. There are 4 in total. They do have the ability to be set up in a variety of different ways. It's really interesting because if you enter the simulated hospital in the morning, you leave and you come back in the afternoon, it's likely that it will be all changed because we set up each area according to the degree that has their clinical coursework within the simulated hospital. So as we can see here, this is set up currently for, I would say, medicine or our nursing students. Okay, let's take a look outside and let's take a look at number 2. Number 2 is great because it typically is set up for our psychology students. Okay, there is a camera on the roof so that we can transmit what is happening here in this consultation room to a classroom upstairs. And here our students work primarily with the actors. So again, in psychology, the first year, you will visit a wide array of institutions. You will visit a prison. You will visit hospitals, human resources offices, to really kind of gain a firm understanding of what is the day-to-day life of all different types of psychologists. The second year, you will work with our actors primarily in this space so that you are ready for your clinical internships, your 3rd and 4th years attending to real-life patients. Great, David. So let's take a step outside of the consultation room and let's continue down the hallway, if you don't mind. Let's continue down the hallway and let's take a look at task training real quickly. because I know that our students of physical therapy, it's not uncommon for them to have a coursework here. So this is where students learn how to work with their hands, how to perfect hand motions. For example, giving their very first shot to a patient, or placing the breathing tube within the esophagus of a patient. And so this is an area that students also study anatomy. So again, physical therapy students, it's quite common for you to have some class work here in this space. Great, David. So let's take a look outside and let's continue down the hallway to, let's continue down the hallway. There we go. I think you have to twirl around. Perfect. Let's continue down to the part of the simulated hospital that really distinguishes us within Spain. These are 4 stages, okay? This is the simulation of complex scenarios. There's 4 stages in total. We can set them up as an ICU, as an intensive care unit, as a surgery room, a prenatal ward as well. If we take a look there, and number 3 to the left, there we go. Take a look there. There you can see Rufina. I mentioned Rufina in the beginning of our presentation. She is a robotic woman that gives birth. There you can see her baby is right there at the end. And what's really interesting about these 4 spaces is that when you're inside of them, you just see yourself. You just see a mirror. But on the other side of that mirror is the observation and debriefing room, where our classmates and our professors can watch and observe us, okay? Here we can set up a psychology clinic, a nutrition clinic consultation, like I mentioned, an ICU, a prenatal ward, a surgery room. So the possibilities are truly endless. Okay, David, if you will click that back button, there we go. Let's take a step outside of the simulated hospital, and let's take a quick look at our preclinical dentistry lab. You'll have to click that arrow to the right, and let's take a look at our preclinical dentistry lab. There we are. Perfect. So students, this is a didactic space with 130 workspaces, 130 workspaces for our dentistry students to learn by doing. As I mentioned, our academic model is based on experiential learning. We want you to learn with your hands. Of course, you do have to, theory is fundamental. You will have to sit down and study and memorize, but we really want you to learn in a practical, didactic way. As I mentioned, we do have 2 dental offices located in the heart of Madrid. So prior to attending real-life patients like myself, you will have ample experience working with these somewhat robotic heads to work on oral surgery, placing your first braces on your patient, endodontics, orthodontics, etc., etc. So that's a great look there. And let's take a look at our structure and function laboratories. Let's take a look at structure and function. There we are. So students, the first year of any biomedical and health-related degree is pretty general. It is a year that you really have to become an expert in the human body. Okay, so regardless whether you study dentistry or psychology, physical therapy, medicine, nursing, pharmacy, you will have ample coursework within this space. It is a state-of-the-art technology, filled with state-of-the-art technology. It's filled with anatomical models. And here we also have virtual reality glasses. I have a quick anecdote to tell you all. There was a couple of weeks ago, I was witnessing a group of students that were psychology students that were working with phobias. And they were specifically working with a woman that had fear of dogs. And so what they did is they placed virtual reality glasses on her, and they could simulate about 100 meters away from this lady, a dog with the dog's owner and with a leash. Then they moved the dog and the owner to about 50 meters away from the patient. And then they took away the leash, and then they took away the owner, and then they moved the dog to about 20 meters away. And they were studying her tensions. So as you can see, we are a very technologically advanced university, and working with virtual reality is present within all of our degrees. Okay. We do need to move on, so let's take a step outside of our Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences, and let's move on to the Faculty of STEAM. Great, David. So let's take a look at the Faculty of STEAM. Let's first take a look at our wind tunnel, because I know that this is an instrument that our students of architecture, our students of aeronautical engineering, Civil engineering use this wind tunnel. As I mentioned, we can place a wind of up to 150 kilometers an hour, hurricane speed winds, to study the how to improve the curvature of an airplane wing, for example. If you twirl around this workshop here the other way, this is our destructive testing laboratory as well, okay, to the left. Great, David. So let's click the back button, and let's take a quick look at our Industry 4.0 lab. Industry 4.0. This is actually my favorite laboratory here in the Faculty of STEAM. This is where our industrial systems engineering students learn to create products in series. So it requires our computer engineering students to program those high-tech machinery that you see to the right, as well as those robotic arms. David, if you scroll all the way to the left, you can see those robotic yellow arms on the left. And when our computer engineers program this instrumentation, the possibilities are endless. We can create anything from an aircraft wing to the most precise part of an automobile motor. So again, this is a laboratory where students learn by doing. Great, David. Let's click the back button, and I would like to show the students our Fab Lab. Fab Lab. Now, students, this is our digital fabrication laboratory. It is one of the 2,000 Fab Labs throughout the world that is accredited by MIT, which is the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. It has to complete a series of rigorous requirements in order to have this prestigious accreditation. There you can see to the left are 3D printers. There we can see 3D printers. If you want to click on that little eyeball button in the middle, David, click on that red button. There we go. We can see a little description there. You can see 3D printers there to the left. Click the X button, David. Perfect. And then to the right, if you scroll to the right, you can see there at the end are 3 3D printers that are quite large for us to create any type of material, really. So that's a good look at our Faculty of STEAM, I would say. Let's now take a quick look at our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication. Again, for our future diplomats, entrepreneurs, CEOs, marketing managers out there. And let's first take a look at Europea Media. So students who are studying our bachelor's degree in media studies or advertising, this is a facility that you will use frequently. But however, it's also not uncommon for students of business as well as international relations to have a practical class session here in this space as well. So here you can see our television set and green screen. As I mentioned, if you see yourself being on the big TV screen one day or working as a journalist, this is where you will get to polish and hone your TV presentation skills. But if you see yourself kind of working in the more technical behind the scenes side of things, we have digital printing, we have photography laboratories, we have sound laboratories, radio control laboratories as well. So a lot of different components to the entire Europea Media. Great, David. Let's click the back button. And although we do not offer our bachelor's degree in law in English, we only offer that in Spanish, I would like the students to take a quick look at our legal courtroom. So here our students work on real life cases, or excuse me, work on real cases. Students get to learn to play the role of the judge, of the witnesses, of the different types of attorneys. But as I mentioned, the interprofessional multidisciplinary approach at the Universidad Europea is fundamental. So it's quite common for our students of business analytics, our students of criminology, students of international relations to work collaboratively with our law students to settle cases. Okay, so here is our simulated courtroom. Let's take a step outside of the simulated courtroom and let's take a quick look at our financial hub. Perfect, our financial hub. So again, students of economics, students of international business, business administration, or business analytics, this is a state-of-the-art facility where you will learn all about, it's essentially all about stocks and statistics. It's essentially a recreation of the New York Stock Exchange for you to learn all about the world of business, the macro economy, and the microeconomy as well. So great, David. I think that's a pretty good look at our Faculty of Social Sciences and Communications. Let's now take a look at the world of sports. The world of sports. So here let's take a look at our sports center. So here you have a beautiful view of our campus from the exterior. David is going to do a 360 panoramic view so that you can see our football pitch, our football field, which is surrounded by our track and field. To the left of that building, we have a beach volleyball court. To the right, we have a rock climbing wall. And at the far end of our campus, we also have our paddle and tennis courts as well. If you look at our campus, it's about 25 hectares, which is roughly 62 or 63 acres. About 1/3 of our campus is dedicated to our top-notch sports facilities. So let's take a look inside. Let's head in through the doors, David. And here we are inside, and I would like to take a look at our fitness room. So we do have a really important agreement with an American company called Hammer Strength. We worked with research professionals from Hammer Strength, which worked collaboratively with our professors to design this space. Every 2 to 3 years, they do send us the latest technology so that our students are always up to date and get to work with the safest and most vanguard equipment. Great. And I would like to mention that these sports facilities, this fitness room, as well as the swimming pools, we have an indoor swimming pool and an outdoor swimming pool, semi-Olympic size. They are free of charge and accessible to all of our students that are studying sports-related degrees. For students that are not studying sports-related degrees, you can utilize these spaces for €50 a month. €50 a month, and you have full access to our sports facilities. Great, David. So I think that's a pretty good look at our sports facility. Students, you have just seen a very small portion of our campus. I would love for you all to come here on campus in person to an open house event, which we have every single month, for you to see all of the spaces, laboratories, and workshops that pertain to your degree. So we will now open the floor for Q&A. Within the live chat, you are free to ask us any questions you may have about each degree, the admissions process, our campus, living in Spain, etc. My colleagues that are connected online or myself will answer each in order of reception. Please note, we are happy to answer any and all questions now, but do note that tomorrow we will get in contact with you over email and send you the electronic brochure of your degree with the tuition fees, and we will assign you your very own dedicated enrollment advisor. So I have my iPad here. I'm going to take a look at some of the questions that have come in through the live chat. I see that there are a lot, which is great. The first is from Dia. Dia, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. The question is, when do you start going to practical clinical work during the dentistry courses? So this takes place the 4th and 5th year. 4th and 5th year within our very own dental offices in the heart of Madrid. 4th and 5th year. But you will start to work with your hands starting your very first year, and those state-of-the-art facilities that I showed you in the virtual tour. Thank you, Dia. Next question is from Khalil Ghaffar. Thank you so much, Khalil, for connecting with us this evening. Khalil has said, I am interested in studying dentistry. If someone were to apply as a graduate with a university degree in pharmaceutical sciences from the United Kingdom, can I get my credits recognized and get on to year 2? So what you will need to do is you will need to request a recognition of your studies, which was what we call in Spanish the homologación, the homologation of the convalidation of your studies. So they will ask for all of your curriculum to see which classes you've taken, take a look at the credits, see the material of each class, and see if it is related to what we teach within our first 2 years. So it all depends on the convalidations study that our convalidations team will have to carry out. But great question, because we do have a lot of transfer students that have to carry out this process. Great. So we have a question from Sophia. Thank you so much, Sophia, for connecting with us this evening. I'm wondering when the admissions process for the psychology degree starts. I've studied psychology for a year now. Can I transfer my credit? So the same answer that I had for Khalil. So Sophia, what you will need to do is to request a validation, a convalidation of your studies. So like I said, you will need to send in all of your study plans, all of your curriculum. The study plan that the first day of class you get to class, and the professor passes out kind of the curriculum, which entails all of the different points that you're going to study that year. Our validations team will need to take a close look at that, and they will let you know where you stand when you enter the Universidad Europea. And the application window is, of course, open. So we do encourage that you start that process as soon as possible. Here we have a question from Zaina. Thank you so much, Zaina, for connecting with us this evening. I'm applying for the undergraduate psychology 100% in English course. If I want to apply for both the Valencia and the Madrid campus, would I need to complete the two different applications? So before you initiate the process, you do need to do a little bit of research and decide which campus you would like to carry out your studies, because we do have an enrollment advisor in psychologies. We do have enrollment advisors for psychology here in Madrid that would handle your case if you were to study in Madrid, and we have a separate team for Valencia. So you will need to do a little bit of soul searching to see if you see yourself living here in the heart of Spain, in the capital city in Madrid, or on the beach in Valencia. That decision I cannot make for you because it is a difficult one. We have a question from Lee. Thank you so much for your question. In May, I have not received an answer. Are there any other sessions for the 2023-2024 school year? This is the last open house event of the 2023-2024 upcoming year. We do have open house events in person that take place every single month from now until July. So we do have an open house event scheduled for this upcoming Saturday, the 22nd. We also have one scheduled for May 20th. So we would love to welcome you here on campus. Okay, and here we have a question from Wolfgang. Wolfgang, thank you so much for being with us this evening. Hello from Germany. I want to apply for business administration. My final grade of baccalaureate will be available at the end of June. Does this fit your due dates? So Wolfgang, great question. Most of our students that formalize their enrollment at our students have not yet received all of their high school grades, have not received their high school diploma, because that typically takes place in the months of May, June, and even July in some cases. However, the application window has been open since October. So now is an ideal moment for you to go ahead and take your admissions tests, see if you're admitted, research our university in detail, because we do want you to make a decision that you are excited about, and go ahead and reserve your place for this upcoming year. As I mentioned, there are a limited number of spaces per degree, and our degrees do fill up. There are several degrees that I've gone over this evening that are nearly filled. So I would suggest that you start that process as soon as possible. Great, Wolfgang. We have another question from Zaina. I'm applying to an English course. Do I need a certain level of Spanish in the language test? So I'm applying to an English course. Do I need a certain level of Spanish in the language test? No. So if you are applying for a degree that is offered 100% in English, unless your native tongue is English, you will need to take an English test, and you will need to make a B2 level. Okay, a B2 level. The same goes for if you wanted to study a degree in Spanish. We would need to see that you have a minimum of a B2 level in Spanish, and we will provide you that language test. However, as we are a Spanish university located right here in the heart of the capital city, or excuse me, right in the heart of Spain, we simply want to know where your level is in Spanish, okay? Do note that if you are studying psychology, your third and fourth year, you will carry out clinical internships, and you will likely tend to real-life Spanish-speaking patients. So by your third year, in order to start your internship, you will need to have that B2 level. But we do have an excellent language teaching staff here on campus. So if you would like to schedule weekly or bi-weekly Spanish classes or English classes, those are available to you. Great. So we have another question from Khalil. Do you have any information on accommodation and financial aid? So my colleagues in the live chat will send you information about financial aid. And as I mentioned, we do have 2 on-campus dormitories that are phenomenal right here on campus. They are called Velázquez and Picasso, which are 2 very famous Spanish painters. And the company is called Xior. That's Xior. There are 4 categories of rooms here in the 2 student dormitories. You have a shared room, and you have 3 categories of individual rooms. The comfort, the premium, and the luxury. And they all get bigger, increase in size as you go up in category, okay? The student dorms are incredible. They have dining halls, which provide breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week, cleaning service, laundry service once a week. If you do have a visiting parent that would like to come stay with you for a weekend, they can also put a bed in your room. They really treat our students phenomenally. So yes, we do. Here we have a question from Serenal. Thank you so much for being with us this evening. Serenal is wondering what the deadlines are for applying for the 2023-2024 semester. So there isn't exactly a deadline. We will keep the application window open for each degree until all the spaces have been filled. Once the spaces have been filled, we will create a waiting list. So as I've said before, we are now at the very end of April. Classes will start in September. I do suggest, if you have not started yet, to start your admissions process. Again, we will designate you your very own enrollment advisor. We will get in touch with you tomorrow to send you your online brochure with the tuition fees. And once you're in contact with your advisor, go ahead and send them your documentation. If you are an international student, you will have to send them a photocopy of your passport. Fill out the registration form online. And once you have done so, your advisor will send you your online admissions tests. You will take those from home. They'll take about 3.5 hours in total. Once completed, within about a day or 2, you will have the results. And if you are admitted, you can go ahead and reserve your place for this upcoming 2023-2024 year. Great. Here's a question from Vicky. Vicky, thank you for being with us this evening. Will there be an orientation week? Oh, excuse me. There we go. Will there be an orientation week before the start of the lessons? Yes, there is absolutely an orientation week in September. We will get in contact with you once you are enrolled and provide you with the dates and all the specifics of our welcome week, which is what we call it, welcome week here at the Universidad Europea. It's a really, really exciting week. We have students that are arriving from all different parts of the world, and you will get to meet your classmates and a lot of your professors as well as get to know our campus, where our dining halls are located, where the library is located, where student services is located, the medical center. So you can really get to familiarize yourself with our amazing campus here in Villaviciosa de Odón. Here's a question from Dia. Thank you for your question. Are UK students considered international students due to Brexit? Are UK students considered international students due to Brexit? So our admissions process is open for the entire world, no matter where you come from, okay? And for this year, despite Brexit, the United Kingdom, we are still going to follow the same procedures as if it were part of the EEES. So in order to accredit your high school diploma, you will need to do so through the UNED, through the UNED, the Universidad de Educación a Distancia. Okay, great. Here we have a question for, lost my place here for a moment. Here we have a question from Olivia Finnell. Thank you for being with us this evening, Olivia. Olivia has a question regarding students who need to take a regular prescription. Is there somewhere on campus? Do I need to find a doctor in the local area? Some help on this would be great. So as I just mentioned, we do have a medical center. We have a doctor's office located here on campus in Building B. Down the stairs, once you enter the hall and you go down the stairs in the basement of Building B, we do have a top-notch medical center, which we always have on-campus doctors and nurses here on campus. But again, we also recommend that you get health insurance through Nueva Mutua Sanitaria. And of course, once you have private health insurance, Nueva Mutua Sanitaria would assign you your very own general practitioner, okay, your general doctor. to oversee all of your medical needs? Great, Olivia. Great question. So here we have a question. There we go. Okay. Here we have a question from Milal. Milal, thank you so much for being with us this evening. I start studying in Madrid if I start studying in Madrid the first year, can I switch to Valencia the second? Of course, if my degree allows that. That depends if there are spaces available. We cannot assure that. As I've mentioned a couple of times, there are a limited number of spaces per degree, so that would entirely depend on the availability of spaces within our campus in Valencia. So the answer is it's not impossible, but it depends on availability of spaces. We have a question from Caroline. Thank you, Caroline, for being with us this evening. Do we start the admissions for dental school in English? How do we start the admissions process for dental school in English? So if you have not started the process yet, and if you still don't have a designated advisor, tomorrow we will designate you your own enrollment advisor from the Faculty of Biomedical and Health Sciences. This will be a true expert in all things dentistry, and he or she will explain the admissions process, all of the steps that you will have to complete in order to participate in the upcoming admissions process for dentistry, because dentistry is a special process. It operates different from the rest of the degrees. In addition to the aforementioned English, Spanish tests, the skills and abilities test, the written interview, you will need to submit your grades. So your enrollment advisor will explain how to do so. Here we have a question from Sophia. Would you need Spanish for the English degree? I'm interested in the psychology degree. Do we need Spanish for the English degree? So no. To start the degree, we will give you a Spanish test, but we do not require any language level to start a degree 100% in English. As I mentioned, in order to start your clinical internships, your third year, you will need to have a B2 level. But I'm sure that you are great at languages. I'm sure that you already speak more than one at this point. You do have a couple of years to really practice and hone your Spanish level skills. And we also have great Spanish teachers here, Spanish language teachers here on campus that you can schedule weekly classes with. Okay? Great. So, yes, that was a question from Sophia. And here we have a question from Mila. I also wanted to ask if there are accommodations available and if they're available to international students. So yes, we do have those two accommodations on campus, Velasquez and Zior, within our Velasquez and Picasso, which are part of our Zior student dormitories. And of course, we do welcome with open arms our international students. There's availability for about 500 students between these two dormitories, and I would say that the majority of those students are international. They are international students like yourself. So here we have another question from Sophia. Can you learn Spanish while doing your degree, or do you need it to start studying your psychology course? No, you can, of course, take your Spanish classes voluntarily, after you start your psychology degree. So if you don't even speak a word of Spanish, please do not sweat. None to worry about. We do have a lot of students that come here that do not speak any Spanish starting off with, but then of course after 4, 5, or 6 years living in Spain, they often leave with an incredible Spanish level. Okay, so great question. Here we have quite a few more questions that have come through. This one is from Angelina. Angelina, thank you for being with us this evening. I'm applying for dentistry and I'm doing the full IB diploma. I was wondering what the IB grade requirement to get admitted are and whether my final scores need to be homologated. So you do need to homologate your high school degree through the UNED, which is, like I said, the Universidad de Educación a Distancia, which is a Spanish public organism that will take care of that bureaucratic process for you. Okay. And of course, for the specific grade requirement from the IB system, you will need to ask one of our dedicated enrollment advisors from Biomedical and Health Sciences. Okay, so when we designate you your enrollment advisor tomorrow, that's a great question to ask him or her. Here we have another question from Caroline. What is the annual cost of the degree in dentistry in English. So tomorrow we will send you the electronic version of your electronic brochure of your dentistry degree with all of the tuition fees. So both the registration fee, the tuition, which is all of your coursework, which can be divided into 10 or 12 monthly quotas, as well as your file opening fee, which is only paid your very first year. Okay, great. So here we have a question from here, Sharma. Thank you for connecting with us this evening. Hello. What bachelor's degrees what bachelor's degree programs concerning science are offered in English? So we currently don't offer any programs within science specifically. However, within the Faculty of STEAM, we offer computer engineering, aerospace and aircraft engineering, fundamentals of architecture, and civil engineering 100% in English. And it is very likely that not this upcoming year, but the following year in 2024, 2025, we will also offer physics. That is quite likely, okay? Here we have a question from Veronica. Veronica, thank you for your question. The fourth year of dentistry, in the fourth year of the dentistry degree, I understand that there's a Spanish exam to pass before going to the fifth year. Do you offer Spanish classes for international students to help them? So actually, before you start your fourth year, so entering into your fourth year, you will start your internships, and you do need to have a B2 level. And yes, we do have a wonderful teaching staff with whom you can arrange weekly or bi-weekly Spanish classes for you to go ahead and start hablando español starting your very first year. Okay, great. Okay, so here we have another question from Dia. We've got a lot of questions coming in through the live chat. This is great to see. Do you get called a doctor after graduating with a dentistry degree? Do you offer courses to specialize in after completing the dentistry degree? So upon completing your dentistry degree, you are a doctor. Exactly. And yes, we do offer courses in orthodontics, implantology, endodontics, pediatric dentistry, as well as aesthetic dentistry. So yes, in order to specialize. Yes, we have another question from Dia. Does the university accommodation offer self-catering or catered? Yes, so we do have an amazing dining hall within our 2 student dormitories that offer breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They can personalize the menu if there's any dietary restrictions, vegan, vegetarian, halal. They can also make meet specific dietary requirements, and the food is actually quite good. Here we have another question from Angelina. Is it possible to gain access to the slides presented here to go over the information again? Yes, you will have this link in YouTube, so you can rewatch this session as many times as you would like and review some of the previous screens, some of the previous slides. But as I mentioned, tomorrow we will send you the electronic version of your degree. Students, tonight has been a pretty kind of a brief overview of all of the degrees. And the digital brochure that you will receive tomorrow comes with a lot of great information about all of the different internship opportunities, the learning methodology, the state-of-the-art facilities. You will actually see the 4-year or 5-year curriculum, all the courses that you will take your first, second, third, fourth, in the case of dentistry, 5th year. That provides a lot more information than what we've gone over today. And you will also have access to your designated enrollment advisor who will be a true expert in your degree. Great question. Here we have another question. We have a question from Maya. I think this is the first question from Maya. Actually, Maya, I see that you are the following 3 questions. So thank you so much for being with us this evening. Maya, I'm applying for the bachelor's degree in physiotherapy. What would be the deadline to apply to enter in the fall of 2024? Okay, so I can see, Maya, that you are applying not for this year, but for the following year. So the application window will start in October of this year. So in October of 2023, you can start the process for physiotherapy for the academic year of 2024-2025. Okay. Another question from Maya. My mother tongue is both Spanish and English. Would I need to show proof that either Spanish or English is my mother tongue? So you would need to contact your advisor to be sure, okay? I am an American. I hold an American passport, so therefore I would not need to take the English level test. But if you can prove that you were raised in a completely bilingual setting, you can discuss that with your enrollment advisor, okay? Here we have another question again from Maya. I will graduate from the International School of Brussels with a BTEC Level 3 diploma and a 4 IB certificates. Is this coursework sufficient? Do I need to go through the homologation process? So yes, all international students must homologate their diploma to study in Spain. So that is not just a Universidad Europea de Madrid requirement, but a national Spanish requirement. So you will have to go through that bureaucratic process. It can take a couple of weeks, so I do suggest that as soon as you have all the documentation, that you get all of your ducks in a row and you start that process as soon as possible, okay? Here we have a question from Ariel. Hello, my name is Ariel. Thank you very much for this live session, which makes me really want to join your school even more by specializing in dentistry. Thank you so much. Great to hear that, Ariel. I would like to know when it will be back next year. So we will start back with our virtual open houses in November. So in November, in the fall of this upcoming year, we will reinitiate our open house, virtual open house events. Okay. Here we have a question from Mila. How big are the classes on average? So for our theoretical classes, typically 30 to 40 students, maximum 40 students per classroom. However, for more practical coursework, working in our simulated hospital or within our Industry 4.0 laboratory or our sports facilities, the legal courtroom, those classes are typically smaller. You can even see student to professor ratios as small as 1 to 10 or even 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, depending on the class and the assignment, of course. Here we have a question from Desiree. Desiree, thank you for being with us this evening. Hello. Thank you for the live chat. I have already reserved my place at the university. Congratulations. And I'm taking psychology 100% in English. Could you tell me when I will know for sure that I have been accepted? So once you have been admitted and you get your admissions letter, please just contact your admission advisor to verify. Because once you have your admissions letter, theoretically, you can go ahead and reserve your place within your pre-student portal. Okay? So great. So it sounds like you need to, if you have reserved your place, it sounds like you are, excuse me, I'm gonna go back on that. So you have reserved your place. The next step for you will be your registration process, which we call in Spanish matriculación. So your next, so if you've reserved your place, I can assure you that your spot is guaranteed. Excuse me, I didn't quite understand the question at first, but great question. And here we have a question from Sophia. Sophia, I am in the admissions process for the bachelor's degree in physiotherapy in English. When I finish doing the admissions tests, and if I get admitted, for how long would my space be reserved? So again, once you complete and pass the admissions tests, you must reserve your place within the pre-student portal once you have made your decision. We do suggest that you do so within about 2 to 3 days maximum upon being accepted. Okay? So I hope that helped answer everyone's questions. Again, students, if you have any last-minute questions, please don't hesitate to send those in through the live chat, because now is the time. And in just a moment, I will go ahead and show you a screen with all the contact information of our dedicated enrollment advisors from the Faculty of Social Sciences and Communication, Biomedical and Health Sciences, STEAM, and Sports Sciences. We have had, within our live chat, we have Elena from Social Sciences, Jose from STEAM, Jose also from Sports Sciences, and Dana from Biomedical and Health Sciences. So I will show their contact information on the screen. Great, so it looks like, all right, going once, going twice. And that will conclude the Q&A session. That was a great Q&A session. It's really great to see that you all had so many questions. And students, thank you again for all your questions. And all of you attending this evening. I would like to leave you with an important message. So choosing a degree and a university is without doubt one of the most difficult decisions a young person has to make. Therefore, it is my sincere wish and recommendation that you research in a wide range of universities, not just at Universidad Europea, that you take a look at their 4 or 5 year curriculum, that you evaluate the professors and on-campus facilities, that you take into account the internship offerings, and that you explore the various extracurricular activities at hand. Because those of us that are a bit older than you can agree that your university years from 18 to 22 or 23 years old is perhaps one of the most exciting chapters in a person's life. So if you do envision yourself studying through project-based learning, gaining experience in a professional setting, participating in clubs and team sports, we have over 25 by the way, and cultivating lifelong friendships with classmates from all around the world, perhaps the Universidad Europea de Madrid is the right fit for you. Our next on-campus open house events will take place this upcoming Saturday, April 22nd, as well as on May 20th. And it would be a pleasure to welcome you all to our campus in person. On behalf of the university, thank you so much for connecting with us this evening. A special thank you to my team within the admissions department, David, Estefi, Elena, Dana, Jose, as well as to the technicians and the production team for making this event a reality. This is the final International Open House event of the year, and we really, really appreciate you all connecting with us this evening. And a very special thank you to all interested students and families for your participation in tonight's session. Classes will start in the second half of September of this year. We hope you have a great rest of the academic year, a wonderful summer ahead, and we do hope to see you all around campus. Have a wonderful rest of your week. Good evening and buenas noches. And here on the screen, you do have our contact information of our dedicated enrollment advisor. Have a great evening, everyone.